one for you, McPathos. As I try and snipe on you. Tower. McPathos, Mick, or XMC? Which is
XMC. I go by XMC on pretty much everything. I have Minecraft, Steam. I tried for Twitter, but that's not possible. XMC on Roblox, I wish I could have that name, but yeah, obviously not possible. MC Pathos is the name I went. It's pronounced MC Pathos, which a lot of people. I guess it's a Scottish thing because my last name begins with MC, so that's the whole idea of MC Pathos and like XMC opposed to X or McPathos.
So it's not actually Mick.
No.
Okay, so my bad. I apologize.
No, everyone. I don't think a single person really has got it right. So.
Yeah, I think people just assume that it's like your last name, right?
Yeah, my last name's a very generic, like Scottish last name. So, yeah, don't mind people know my last name is just Macintosh, but that's the whole reason why it's MC.
Oh, okay. Shoot, man.
Okay, question 2. How long have you been a video game producer?
Officially only about 7 months. This is technically my first project per se. However, like the concept of like what I do, I've been doing for roughly about 3 to 4 years off memory. Before Voldex came onto Roblox, we were on Minecraft before, and I was doing. We were called senior admins or game mode coordinators, which essentially is the same thing. What we would do is just essentially the same stuff. We would coordinate updates, deal with the community, involve the staff, involve the developers. So essentially the same thing, just a different platform.
Okay.
So to answer your question in a bit, in a way, on Roblox about 6 months.
Okay.
Fully, yeah, about 3-4 years. I've been involved with like game management as a whole for probably about 6 years. Like anywhere from like staffing Minecraft servers, right? Like dealing with like moderation and the community. But officially, like as as an actual person of position, yeah, about 3 years, I would say. On and off as well. I did have a break to deal with some personal stuff, but afterwards, came back to get involved in it.
Okay. This is a good segue into question 3, which I'll take. Although you may have already answered it, which is how long have you been with Voldex?
Been with Voldex since late 2015. So I believe late 2015.
That's a long time.
We used to have a Minecraft server called OP Blocks, or Overpowered Blocks, has its elongated name, which was like a candy prison server at the time. That was back when prison servers were like very new and very, I guess the hype is like the way to call it.
Yeah.
I went from dealing with OP Blocks as a staff member, as a player, to what was it? I think it was Prime MC. And I was on Prime MC for about a year. Then we transferred to a new network, which was called Sky Metro, which was a Skyblock server for about 6 months. And then I went back to Prime. Then I went to Dirt MC, and then I believe I went to the Archon.
Wow.
Which is the server we currently have. Don't remember exact time frames, but about late 2015. Yeah. I think it's either late 2015 or early 2016. I really can't remember off the top of my head. It's a while ago, quite a while ago.
And so have you? I mean, this isn't really on the list, but it's kind of related question. Have you been with Voldex then since the beginning of Voldex, or pretty much the beginning?
Yeah, I'd say pretty much. A lot of I've seen. I guess back before it was a proper company, it was more of like this is a community instead of a company.
I got you.
Been around for a very long time for that. I think I know 1 or 2 people who's been around at roughly a similar time. Obviously, I've had like ons and offs, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Like no crazy amount. But yeah, I've been for a while.
Okay. Cool.
So question 4, what is the weirdest experience you've had producing a game?
I haven't really had any weird experiences with people in Roblox. It was mainly the Minecraft people. Trying to think of what I can say, because some of them are just really... I'm not even going to say, like, weird, they're just straight, like, wrong.
Very different community?
Very different, very toxic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to shed light on exactly what it was, but
That's fine.
I've had a lot of inappropriate or threatening stuff from the Minecraft side. That's, the very minuscule 0.1%. Only happened once or twice, but besides that, we did have the occasional weird person who would comment some stuff, but nothing from Roblox. The community's been lovely. Everyone's so welcoming. Very, very different. Very different. Jeez, I realized how much you're using the Brumbo and stuff.
Yeah.
A little fact, by the way, which I don't think anyone really knows. You can shoot med packs to stop them if they're on the enemy team.
You can shoot what?
You can shoot advanced medkits on the floor. So I don't think you realized, Keiran. When I was fighting you, Keiran, I shot your med pack to stop you healing.
Wait, really?
Yep.
I'm gonna start using that now.
You can you can destroy their med pack?
Yeah, you can shoot it. Yeah, I'll come over and
I don't think I've ever seen anybody make any mention of that. That's wow.
It was mentioned in changelog. Likewise with.
Oh, was it?
Likewise with players. Do the same thing with players.
I wonder if it was just overlooked, maybe.
It was definitely overlooked. I've seen a lot. I have seen people do it and like shoot medkits on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't see it often, but I don't think. I think even the people that do know, they're not. The first thought isn't to shoot it out. So.
Yeah. Question 5. What is your favorite Voldex game?
Base Battles. Probably Base Battles.
Yeah. Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No. I think a lot of this specialty that comes with like the producers, right, is the reason why, I do base battles is because I know base battles. I'm not gonna, I don't think it makes sense to put a producer in a game they don't enjoy, right?
Yeah.
And likewise with like when we start working on new games or I guess like I wouldn't say an offer per se for like a game we're acquiring, right? It will be a case of, do you enjoy the game? Like, no producer is gonna. We're very wanting people to be happy. And I think a lot comes with that is checking with producers first. But hey, what do you think of this game? Or like picking specialties. For example, James X-Loki in the Discord, very great person. Is very understanding and very knowledgeable on like what kind of genres the producer's like. Like he knows very well that I love FPSs and shooter games. So yeah, I think when it comes to like these games that the producers will be working on, it does come into play what you enjoy.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't think it makes sense that we work on a game we don't enjoy.
No, not at all.
So yeah, no, it has to be base battles. Don't get me wrong. I have, we are working on some other games, and I am a part of some of them other games that I really enjoy. But I don't think, at least for right now, has the same impact or community that base battles does. So
yeah,
definitely base battles.
Question 6: Who is Alex Singer?
Alex Singer is CEO of Voldex. I believe, and I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure I'm right. He's the original creator of Voldex when he was younger. Started with, the Minecraft side. He's just overall, he's essentially just our boss. He's very involved, though, very back-end. While he might not be as talkative to you guys in Discord and stuff, he's talking to us every day, making sure, being like, hey, how is everything? Like giving us feedback and content. He's extremely involved. He essentially just runs Voldex from a very top level. I say very top level. He's the highest. He's CEO company. So
yeah.
I think when it comes to Roblox, is this I guess this is, I'm not going to say new niche, but this new, it's happened a lot more recently. I've noticed a lot more, at least from what I can tell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but companies now are coming into Roblox and like wanting to get themselves involved. It's not just a single developer or like two friends. It's proper companies.
Yeah.
Right? And we have a full team behind us. We have producers, game designers, like a QA team, all sorts to make sure we get the best product.
Yeah.
And I think, and there has to be a center point to this, where one person, I guess is like the glue holding everyone together. And for us, that's Alex,
Yeah.
It just makes sense for him to be the one to, like, for example, hold the groups and same with the Discords and stuff. Just have one central person instead of it spread out randomly. If that's I've noticed likewise with I noticed people tag in the Discord some of the other people that are in the producer category. Like while they're not directly producers for base battles, they're still involved very back end. They're not as front end as like how myself or like Shifty is, for example.
But they may get pulled in at some point if needed, correct?
Oh yeah, correct. Like there has been times where like James has noticed something, for example. I believe, or is it X-Loki's Discord? Everyone knows his name is James, out of the way. Like X-Loki's will get a ping, for example. I won't see it, and then he'll be like, "Hey, Galen, if you pull this," I'm like, "Yeah, cool, thanks for passing it on."
Oh, okay.
They do pay attention to the Discords to a degree, but it's kind of more on myself and the staff team opposed to them. They have a lot going on back end with like all the other games, so try and keep it so the producer's the one who's managing all that. So it's not, we don't have one person having to focus on 12 different games, for example.
Yeah. Oh, you want to take that? This is a good question. A little bit loaded, but we'll see.
Oh, no, I don't want to do this one.
You don't want to do this one?
No, it's your question anyways.
No, it's your question. What do you mean?
No, I did 6. You did 7.
10.
Are you sure?
9,
Yeah, I do it.
8,
Okay.
7, 6, 5,
So,
4, 3, 2.
oh shoot.
This one's a funny one.
Yeah, question 7 for you. Hey, who's your favorite Base Battles YouTuber?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite per se. I love you all equally. I definitely noticed different, involvement. Like you guys are super involved. Like,
Yeah.
and that's why, like, in a way, I want to try and be able to like do as much as you can. Right? You guys are extremely passionate about the game. You have this thrive to, want to do content, keep up to date on stuff. And I don't know. I feel like it's more of like, it feels right to be able to like, I guess, give something back to you guys, and I think this is a little bit of a way I can do that, where I can answer your questions, give you a bit more information, without really saying stuff that I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
I think this is like at least a little bit of this. I guess the saying goes, "It's the least I can do." Thank you guys for everything you've done. But yeah, I wouldn't say I have a favorite per se. Having favorites in that kind of never really ends well.
No.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, I tried to be as involved with all the crews as much as possible.
Yeah,
but
we noticed that.
Like you guys have seen, you guys are extremely involved. So whenever you're messaging me, asking me a question, I'm going to try and answer.
Oh, I appreciate that. We definitely love the game, and we appreciate your involvement, and Ellie and everybody else that works with us, on a regular basis. And yeah, a bit of a loaded question just for fun, but of course, yeah, there's probably, and actually, from what I've seen, Voldex is probably the most involved with its content creators. I don't know, I'm only speaking from my experience, but it just seems like, because we've played other games and gotten behind other games before pretty heavily, but not had the same support that we get from Voldex, so that's very much appreciated. We thank you for that.
Are you considering adding a Battle Royale or a King of the Hill game mode to base battles?
Battle Royale is a bit of an iffy one, right? That involves, that's not even base battles at that point. That's a completely different game mode. I don't even think I personally don't think that fits in the genre of like what base battles is, right? We're trying to we have this vision for like a team-based, I guess like Battlefield-like gameplay. Try and get the most involved with teams, and I think VR. I think you need to have a certain genre or a certain appeal to a player base to be able to successfully do a VR.
Yep.
A BR, not so much. I can't imagine we're doing a VR anytime soon. Not in base battles anyway. I can't speak for some of our other games. I don't really fully know. But for a King of the Hill, that's a different story. We've talked about the idea of a King of the Hill type game mode, or King of the Hill type features, whether it's, for example, a gun spawned on a map, right? And, you have X time to go capture that gun, and when you go and grab the gun, it's this really overpowered gun you can use when you die, it drops in the floor, someone else picks it up. Or like a King of the Hill just game mode, like yourself. The only problem with a King of the Hill game mode is it's very much like domination.
Yeah.
And I feel we have to have a good balance between maps and teams for that to work well. Especially for a King of the Hill with vehicles involved. King of the Hill is more of a weapon, like close range, like in-person shooter, and trying to balance it well with vehicles is a bit tough. So we've definitely talked about the idea of a King of the Hill. It's just trying to get it to fit right. We don't want to, import content that just doesn't work well with the gameplay and people then don't like.
Yeah.
Like with what happened with the gun game, for example. In theory, it was a really good game mode. It involves players, gets players involved, like weapons they can't use from. Let's say they get to try some weapons, but it just turned out it just didn't flow right with the actual game. And I guess that kind of mindset with King of the Hill and game modes is we tried to make sure that the game modes are, I guess, like fit the game.
That's actually a really good point, because we've been talking about King of the Hill kind of wanting one for a while, but I don't think we actually considered the fact that there's vehicles, because you're right, most King of the Hill games, it's on foot, there's no vehicles. And actually, this is a good segue since we've already touched on it. Are you planning to re-add the gun randomizer game mode? Or rework it in some fashion?
We have definitely talked about it. However, it's not in near future, I would say.
Okay.
It just had really bad reception. We don't want to have content that players aren't going to enjoy. While we spent the time to make the game mode, make it work, polish it up. If players aren't happy with it, and overall it's making their experience worse, we're not going to have it. Which is why we tried to be really critical with game modes and stuff. Realistically, I don't see gun game coming back anytime soon. And if it does, it'll definitely be changed quite a bit from what it is currently.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't we played it a couple times and enjoyed it, but there did seem to be a lot of, I guess, negative feedback in the Discord server. I don't think we probably didn't see half as much as what you saw, but it sounds like there was quite a bit, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't even just the Discord. Just overall, it didn't go as planned, the update, and because of that, we ended up reverting the game mode.
Well, that's unfortunate that you guys spent all that time on it and then it wasn't well received, but.
This is how game development goes. We spent a lot more time though trying to refine our QA systems, like the QA team. Our QA team's expanded. We have so many new players now they're helping us, that can give us this feedback early and give us more. I wouldn't say honest per se. I'd just say more of critiquey feedback.
Yeah, more.
Where they can be more thorough. Try and help this process for us not to add stuff that people won't enjoy. I see you in the tower, Keiran.
Alright, so question 10. What is the story behind the Frostbite cannon?
Frostbite cannon?
Yeah, that was that was like a brand new weapon. I remember
it
was in gun game.
Oh!
And it was like super OP. It was like
So the story with the Frostbite cannon is we didn't know. It was only until Gun Game was released we didn't know that it wasn't in the game. So we have, for example, in our studio we just have a folder of weapons that we haven't released yet. They're just there for when if we feel like we need to add a new weapon or want to play with the idea or so, we have them there in that folder. This Frostbite cannon was in the folder with all the current weapons. So we assumed that this was already a thing, and people, while I've tested pretty much every primary, I've used them all, checked them all, seen how they feel. Secondaries, on the other hand, not so much. And even when I have had to test the secondaries, I've kind of just gone by the in-game, assuming that they were all there from the studio instance. So it was only when Gun Game came out and people were like, "What's this new gun?" And I was like, "What do you mean new gun?" And yeah, it was mentioned that wasn't released yet. So we've it's in the back burner. It's definitely a unique weapon because it's not even for its damage; it's more for its mobility.
Yeah, it's like
it's
almost has like an arsenal kind of thing going on because you can catapult yourself in.
You can catapult yourself, yeah. Which was already in the plans anyway. I played a lot of what's the game? I played a lot of Team Fortress. Not so much, but I like to be able to rocket jump and stuff.
Okay.
So it was definitely. I already had planned for like a rocket jumper based weapon for the future. I was definitely like talked about it, but yeah, didn't really realize that it was already in the game. So yeah, it's when we feel like we need a new secondary, we'll definitely work on it.
Okay, so it's not dead in the water. It may make some sort of comeback at some point. Could be another loaded question, maybe not though. But what's your favorite base battles map?
Pirate Cove. Without question, Pirate Cove.
Pirate Cove?
I love the aesthetic for Pirate Cove. It flows really well. It was our first try at like a new 3-lane map design.
Yeah.
So you have the A, B, and C, like its own direction, and it also introduced boats. While people don't use boats as much as we'd like, obviously it's a limited map pool. What I will say is Pirate Cove, along with boats, has introduced us to be able to have some fun designs for maps.
Yeah.
And maybe even a map that has more boats on it soon. Who knows?
Nice.
It's also, I think it's also like the most popular generally as well.
Yeah, you know what it is?
That in theme park.
Yeah, like whenever we're playing, everybody's picking Pirate Cove.
Yeah.
And like Keiran said, second to that is Theme Park for some reason. It's actually our most disliked map. Yeah. I don't know why they like Theme Park so much.
Okay, so question 12. What has been the hardest feature / update to produce for base battles?
Boats.
Wow.
Boats. Without a question, boats. Yeah.
By functionality, like how they operate on the map.
Just having boats, just getting boats implemented was a struggle to say the least. That's really all I can say about it. Yeah, definitely was not easy.
And probably continues not to be because people seem to complain a lot about.
What do you mean?
I just see a lot of people complaining in the Discord about attack boat.
Oh, the use of boats.
Yeah.
I think the main complaint is just there's no reason for them per se. Like people feel like there isn't ocean maps or they can't use them like how they use the other vehicles, which I completely agree. Like I understand, yeah, it definitely was odd to do at the time. I would have liked to have done it a different way, but with the time frame that we had and with the difficulty we had with it, I think we definitely made the best decision at the time. But boats aren't out of the water right yet. People's biggest complaint is just there's not enough maps for it. So that's something we are aware of and we do want to work on.
Okay, cool.
Because they are fun to drive and all that.
Yeah, we've used them a bunch of times.
Yeah.
According to the player feedback that you've seen, What do you think is the most hated change to the game, or what has been the most hated change to the game?
Ooh,
You may have
this is
already
a tough one.
you may have already touched on it with like the boats, but I don't know. Maybe there's something else that we're not aware of.
I don't think the boats is the most hated feature.
No.
I think the biggest complaint for features, I wouldn't even call it a feature per se, is our choice of balance. I agree the balance for the Banshee was very questionable. We not accidentally, but we also worked on like improving the hit registration for like vehicles, which also made it even more OP. I think the biggest complaint I've seen, at least like about an individual feature per se, is probably just about the balancing. I think base battles had this reputation, and I believe it still does, and we're trying to work on it, where people think, oh, I'm going to buy a thermal AR, and I'm going to be able to kill everyone instantly and win the game, like, without chance.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest complaint we've had is people complaining about us nerfing, like, the pulse rifle and the thermal AR. It was too strong, period. I don't think a fully automatic weapon that has thermal that you can shoot from anywhere on the map that has no drop-off should be able to one-hit kill anyone.
Yeah.
I agree the price is probably a bit much for what it is right now, and we're definitely going to work on changing the functionality for it, for the thermal, to make it more, more like better than what it is without completely killing the game.
Yeah.
But I think our biggest complaint is probably just people not happy with our choice of wanting to make the game more fair and equal for everyone.
Okay.
While I understand that, yes, if you purchase a weapon, it should be better than, if I purchase, I'm going to say a Barrett, it should be better than the AWP. That's pretty an obvious thing. However, I shouldn't be able to purchase a Barrett and then no other, I can insta-kill every vehicle or instantly kill everyone. I just don't think that's fair for free-to-play users, and I think a lot of it is we don't want to change too much without, we don't want to hurt the game too much in the respect of changing things. So, yeah, probably the changes we did to the weapons is my guess.
Yeah, the balancing people seem to complain a lot about.
We are working on right now like a whole balance. I would say revamp per se. I'd say balance update of making it more of a a very obvious linear path for people who have purchased weapons, and it more of a distinct and obvious reason to go from weapon A to weapon B. And what comes with that is also dealing with the thermal and pulse rifle and stuff. And since we did our first big balance change, we've had a lot of changes to the gun mechanics and what's possible and feasible now.
Yeah.
So for example, we didn't have vehicle damage before, right? Where damage, you could do different forms of damage to a player opposed to a vehicle. That wasn't a thing before. Now we can, so now we can make, I'm not, obviously this isn't what it's going to be, but for an example's sake, we can make, the pulse rifle do more damage against vehicles than it does against players, per se. And it has this, there's a reason for use that weapon, the pulse rifle against the AK. If you want to take out vehicles all the time, and be to support for the team, then you can use that weapon. We have a lot more ability. We just have the ability to do a lot more than what we did, which I think helps a lot.
Yeah. So are you suggesting that there might be some sort of, what the word is, I don't want to say a system, but maybe some sort of hierarchy for players, for newer players, so that when they come in, it's this is what you get when you start with, and this these are the weapons that should be the natural progression from there, kind of thing, or? Yeah,
that's how it's always supposed to have been, but I think the general balance has been skewed a bit, right?
Oh,
where people, for example, come into the game, see all the grey weapons, right? And a natural distinction. If you are a new player, know nothing about base battles, grey weapons are the bad weapons, purple weapons are the okay weapons, red weapons are the good weapons, gold weapons are the best, right?
Yeah.
Whereas it is skewed a little bit by balance.
Yeah.
Where, for example, the AUG is a really good weapon, really underrated. Same with the pulse rifle. very good weapons for the price.
One.
And like weapons after that, for example, are a little bit worse than them, which we want to be able to have this very obvious progression that players can do, but without changing too much, which is the off part, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We see a lot of complaints in the Base Battles Discord server. What is your biggest complaint about the Base Battles community?
I wouldn't really say I have a complaint about it, really. I'd say it isn't really a complaint, more of a...
Observation?
Which I would like to make, but it's not really fully in my hands. It's just so the other producers and like the developers that don't work on the project that are in the Discord, so they have another role, so they don't get pinged when stuff isn't needed to go to them. I wouldn't really call that a complaint per se. The community is great. I try and talk to people as much as I can, and obviously I've talked to you both about this separately. With being able to move and have my own office, once I get into my new house, I'll be able to spend more time with the community, and the idea is, I'll be able to focus more and concentrate more on base battles and like managing the community and talking more, being more involved than what I was before. Likewise with the staff team. For example, I want to start doing like weekly game nights where we can just all chill, play a game, whether it's like base battles or another Roblox game or a different game, or we watch a movie or something. Just try and get everyone more involved. Likewise with the community. The community is great. It's been very... I'm trying to think of the word. I forget words very easily. It's been very new to get into. I don't have any complaints per se. Everyone's been lovely. Been very helpful for areas that I've lacked in. Shifty has been extremely helpful. Same with Storalis. A lot of people. It's been very welcome, very helpful. I couldn't ask for a better community.
Oh, good. This is a pretty open-ended question, but to you, what do you think the future of base battles looks like?
This is a tricky question because obviously there's stuff I can't say. I want base battles to be able to... One second. I want base battles to be able to... Obviously I want it to be able to grow. I want to get to a point where, we're eventually not peaking, but like surpassing, 10,000 CCU. I want base battles to be this fun and involved game where, you can go in, like vehicle warfare, very Battlefield-esque. I'm a very big fan of Battlefield, and I think this is probably one of the closest we've got to Battlefield in terms of Roblox games. I want to try and push that more, whether it's having classes, right, and, stuff to work towards, and like clans, or I don't really say I'd have a certain goal to work towards, but we try and do things like case by case. I just want to be able to see base battles grow and turn into something where, we're more popular than Battlefield 2042. That will be that'll definitely make my day.
We'll let you go for now, and hopefully we can play again soon.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Cool, thanks,
All right.
man.
See ya, bro.